Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Nurmodon, and I'll be doing a gameplay commentary over some Battlefield 3. Throughout the gameplay, you guys will get to see how I play the PC setting of Battlefield 3 because it's significantly different than I do when I play console. And the main reason of that is because there's more players, more XP, different specs, I guess, for the internal PC and or the game because they run on completely different settings overall. But when it really breaks down to the bread and butter of the commentary, guys, I want you to understand that this gameplay is not in particular anything special, and we do lose the game, but I wanted to showcase it because it allows me to really tell you guys and show you guys that I'm improving over time. I mean, it's not going to be no like level cap gameplay where they're dropping 50 bombs, but it's still a significant kind of improvement. Overall, the maps that I like to play on PC are the ones that are pretty standard, and they're kind of XP boosters. That's kind of what they're there for. The super high tickets on Operation Metro on Conquest where trying to get B is almost impossible when you're the US side, and when you're the Russian side, if you get spawn trapped, there's a good case that you weren't trying hard enough. That's pretty fair to say, just considering that the Russian spawn is closer to B than the US spawn due to a matter of just the overall characteristics of the map. Now, how does this transfer into the vanilla maps, DLC maps, all that stuff? Well, I'm going to talk briefly about my transformation from the console to the PC, because I'm kind of impressed by the improvement in which I've occupied, but there's still a lot to be done. I'm definitely no advanced player in any means necessary. I don't want to try to act like I have any clue on how you PC guys play, because you're all different. You all play significantly different than what I'm used to. And I'm not saying that console guys are bad. Believe me, I'm Colonel 100 over there. I know how to play console. I'm pretty damn good at it. But going to PC is a different experience because there's more players, and when there's more players, there's more gunfights in which you kind of lose just due to the fact that you're getting shot by multiple angles. So you have to try to decrease your exposure, your character exposure, and, well, I fail at doing that significantly, and you guys have probably seen that through gameplays because my peeking ability is pretty bad. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I cannot peek to save my life, and it's not because I don't know what peeking is. I understand it, but I seem to overshoot the wall, or just I'm not very comfortable with the keys yet, so I do have to improve on that, and that's something that when you play on console, it's not really too prevalent. I mean, peeking, you can do it, I'm not saying that you can't, but it's significantly easier in aspects like that when I'm a little bit more used to playing on a console side of it than I am on a PC side of it. So if you're on PC, I'm sure you're an MLG pro when it comes to peeking, but I promise you I am nowhere close to that, so bear with me. But, there are improvements that I need to advance on, peeking being one of them, and understanding recoil patterns. Obviously, I like statistics as the next guy. I indulge myself into the statistical manners. I really like to, try to dissect them and try to figure out what I need to do to improve myself. But the PC side of it is not black and white. It's not like, oh, look, you do this, and this equals this, and you're successful all no matter what. It's not that easy. It's a little bit more complicated, and that's why jumping into a PC setting is not as easy as jumping into, well, I guess anything else. I can't compare it to console because that can be significantly harder in any aspect as well. But I don't know, I still have to work on that. Overall understanding my keybinds, that's a huge one, and my mouse, I just seem to overshoot my target by a significant amount, and I know many of you guys will jump to the conclusion to say, well, you need to mess with your sensitivity then. You are absolutely correct on that aspect, but I still like to do my 720s when I jump in the air for some reason, just because I feel like that's something that PC guys do, even though they don't normally, and I don't know, I kind of like doing it, so I'm going to try to advance my skills with the current one I have occupied, but if I continually, I guess, move my mouse too much, overshoot, and or just spike it all over the screen, you guys have probably seen it when I first uploaded Battlefield. I do it a little bit in this gameplay. You guys will see that I'll just, barely spike it, and I'll go to the ground, back up, and I'll just shake around a little bit until I can reformat my hand back onto the mouse. And that's just because of positioning. I'm just not very comfortable with it, I guess, in that aspect for at least PC gaming. If you guys were to see me in Arma, I do that a lot. I spike the ground, spike up in the air, spin and do all kind of circles because my sensitivity is too high and my DPI is just registering too much information, which in turn is kind of screwing me over in the long run. So there are improvements to be made. I really need to work on that. But, hopefully with time you guys will give me suggestions. If you guys are PC guys, I would love some help just because, well, I'm not an elitist. I don't exactly understand every little information that's posted on these settings. So if you guys know how to improve any of those things I've talked about, I would greatly appreciate it. So overall, guys, My transformation from the console to PC has been very difficult, as I've talked about before. It was not like, hey, pick it up and now I'm an MLG pro. No, not even close. And that's why I tell you guys that I don't pretend to be good at Battlefield on the PC, even though my statistics say that I'm above average, which that's impressive by itself. It's just because I know what I'm doing to a certain degree. I understand the maps, I know the lines of sight, and I understand how people play, at least in one side of the spectrum. Now, of course, jumping into a server that has more players, because I like 64-man Zerg Rush, high intensity action, all that stuff, that's a completely different situation, and that's something where knowledge and your ability to understand the fundamentals of the map have to come into play, and you really have to work at a slower pace, because if you don't do that, well, you die a lot, and then you just get enraged and pissed. And I'm sure you guys have seen me type in the chat, nice hard scope camper or something like that, just because I don't exactly like snipers. This is nothing new. If you've been around for any period of time, you know that snipers are not my best friend in any game. Doesn't have to be just Battlefield. I just don't like them in general. But overall, guys, the transformation's been interesting. I'm still wanting to become a lot better, especially when Battlefield 4 drops. This will be the platform I buy it for. There will not be any Xbox One, PS4 Battlefield. I don't plan to buy it for it unless something just magical comes out of nowhere. But I doubt that'll be the circumstance. And the reason I'm going to get it on the platform that I'm not too good at yet is because I want to become better. So when it does come out, I can kind of blend right in with the good players and then just kind of whip some ass on the guys that are like me now that aren't too well or good. So anyway, guys, guess that's about it. I just kind of wanted to talk about that. I mean, nothing too crazy. I mean, you guys know my internal specs for my PC. Nothing that I really need to talk about. I've really talked about it a lot, and it's posted all over my page with a high regard on Battlelog and all that other good stuff. So I do have the social media sites that do uphold that kind of stuff, but overall, I guess I just need to become a little bit more comfortable with the PC side of it. I really need to try to understand what PC guys do, and I need to take the hints and tips by the community to hopefully improve my gameplay and or make myself as a player a lot more beneficial to the team instead of being a liability, and hopefully with time I'll become an asset. But anyway, guys, this has been NMO. I'll be signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next installment, so peace.